Call to order and ask for approval of the agenda.
Do you have a copy down there? You got it so far?
No, I can, I'll be happy to give you my copy though, if you'd like.
I didn't bring mine, I'm sorry.
That's fine. Last meeting, I already becoming a slacker.
Slacking off.
It's kind of like that last day of high school when you stop.
I just looked up, I started this in 1994. That's a long time ago.
Is there,
I make a motion that we accept the minutes, and we haven't read them, but,
Need to approve the agenda.
agenda first?
oh, okay, agenda.
Yeah.
So do I have a did I have a
We
motion?
have a motion.
Okay. Second. All right. Second, approve the agenda. And then we'll go on to the minutes. Everybody get a chance. to
All
look at
those in favor?
Yeah, well, I figured since there's only the two of them and me, and one made a motion, one seconded it. Approval of the minutes.
Come on, Russ.
I'll move that we approve the minutes. All right, second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. And move on to old business, planning update. Well, Russ, do you want to give us what we did?
Okay, I can't remember how many we planted in Chautauqua Park. Is there 11?
Yeah, I think.
I think 11.
Put your plan down.
Yep. And then
Well, we put a few more
we
there.
put a few more than we planned because they did not want to put any down in 9th Street,
Central Park.
Central Park. So we had the other trees, so Roger and I went and picked some more spots down into the city park and put the extra trees we had there. And then we took 5 to Lions Park.
It's probably a good thing too, we ended up losing 2 or 3 more trees on June 26th, 27th.
Okay. Okay.
So we ended up losing.
Older trees.
Yes,
Yep.
yes. So,
So we're getting a good start down there in the Chautauqua Park, I think. We'll just have to kind of keep eyes on the old trees that are there. But
The ones in Lions Park look really nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they put those along that west side.
yeah, I thought they looked good there. And we got the
the last of the cemetery.
yeah, I got the rest of those up. Got the fences up around that. Roger and I got
There's
those up.
2 that don't have a leader.
Well, see, one of them got broken off, and we had to watch it and try to develop one on some of those. We had to prune one, but I'll have to check it again and see where it looks like.
did you plant any up in South Park?
South Park. Is that by the swimming pool?
Yeah.
We planted one.
Yeah, we put one up
There was
there.
one dead
Right,
one
I
lost
forgot.
a year or so ago. Put one in.
Yeah, we put one up there, same spot as was before.
I think that kind of covers what.
Yeah, I think that pretty well covers what we did. I thought everything looks
I
good.
think they had a good
now.
start with the rains we had earlier this spring, so
Yeah.
we need to make sure with dry spells they get watered. I think Bob was pretty careful, pretty conscientious about making sure.
Well, we're gonna have water, I guess, the next day or 2 as well. So,
Yeah.
We're getting a little pre-water right now.
Well, not much.
No,
A little bit, a little.
so any other questions on that? Move on to future plannings. That'd be this fall. Where are we as far as finances? We need to know that, so if we know what we can do.
Dan?
Well, that's what I need to know.
Yeah, we ought to be.
I'll get you some numbers and email them to you.
Okay, so, so as long as we know.
We're just now finishing up the year-end budget numbers, which, along with that money, some of it ended up in last year, some of it ended up in this fiscal year. But just looking at the numbers, just generically on top, it looked like we spent a good amount of our money.
Yeah, we put a lot of trees in this.
Yeah, we
spring.
put a lot of trees out there, so.
I would anticipate that your fall expectations would be pretty good.
Yeah. Okay.
At best.
Well,
What
we didn't
about-
touch the grant money.
No, I think that's just roughly about all that's left.
Is what?
About $1,000.
Okay.
I think that's all that's left, and you committed some money to the library, and you committed also some, I believe, to North Fifth Street. If you look at the minutes.
Yeah, we committed there if we had the if in there, that they made a big enough area so that the tree would grow.
The expectations, I would say, is with those commitments, I'd be very careful about making other commitments in this coming fiscal year.
Has it ever been ironed out about Central Park, about, they were talking, the park board didn't want?
One of their bigger concerns in discussing the matter with them was they were concerned about placement for erosion purposes. They were concerned about placement, and we discussed a little bit about the piping issue, which I expressed to them. Of course, they were still piping, so there were some of them that were questionable about whether or not that was still a practice they wanted to take or not. They just said basically at this time, without looking at it further with you guys, they didn't want to move forward.
Well, I don't understand the erosion problem. I mean, trees are going to help control erosion, right?
Well, the comment was is that if we put them on the side of the hills,
Well, no, we were doing that.
and of course I expressed to them that most of the places we were talking about were down in the flat, and flat south. But I do know that they, it's not hard to tell they didn't have a warm and fuzzy feeling about it.
Okay.
They really wanted to maybe have a little bit more information about location, sites.
Okay.
And we should probably discuss that north side of the building.
Right,
Right by Sunwise,
right.
I don't know, when you drive by it, you don't notice that until you're right at the alley. So why do we were talking about maybe putting some lattice work up there, they don't want to look at that building.
I think they were looking from a beautification standpoint that the trees might have a more aesthetic value than
I don't, well, poor soil is one to get an alley to try to plant in. I don't know how that's going to go.
I'd be very concerned about getting something to grow there to do well.
This was this idea came from Chamber of Main Street, so I'll talk to them a little bit, talk about your hesitation, express your concern about the soil conditions there and see if they want to go a different route. If they're still interested in moving forward with the tree plan, I'll ask them to come before you. We'll try to set together another meeting.
Okay.
Talk about the lattice work though. The lattice work.
I'll ask them if they're interested in considering some alternatives.
To it.
One other thing we noticed, or Russ noticed, and I went out and looked at those trees along North 5th Street.
Yeah, North 5th Street.
They're leaning at a 45-degree angle.
Actually, Bob was wanting to talk to you.
I talked to him today, and then
Right.
since then I called the horticulturist down in Ames. I want to talk to him. And, I said, well, maybe we could get the ground wet enough, and then pull them over. And he says, that might work, but he says, not very well. He says, the best thing is this tree spade to reset them, and then you're going to lose roots. You're going to probably lose.
Bob's feeling was that his personal opinion and what he's seen previously.
I'll call you back.
Once those roots are exposed and dry out.
Well, they're not exposed.
He kind of felt that some of the sides of them were exposed
I couldn't,
out.
when I looked at them, they looked just like it just blowing them sideways, at a 45-degree angle. They're tree buds.
Staked for a while.
Was one mistake.
This real severe storm we had 2 weeks ago or so, people would be surprised just how much damage we had occur during that event.
I know.
I would say comparable to when FEMA was in here for the ice storm a year and a half, 2 years ago, I would say that the level of damage to trees is comparable. It is very comparable.
I had a big tree, both split, went down.
So did I.
Ruined my driveway,
We had,
took out the fence.
we had a tree up my house, completely gone. Mine split.
Do you think we ought to try just, I don't know where you and Bob left the conversation.
Well, I suggest, we had a lot of rain where it got softened, maybe you could pull them back, and I mentioned this to Jeff Isle down in Ames, and he said, well, you almost have to cut some roots, because they're under stress, to pull it back. But he says he didn't think there'd be much success. Then you gotta stake it, and he said that's not a good thing, because then the trees are weakened, and stakes not a good thing on a tree unless it's really, you don't recommend them at all. Unless, your tree is really bad.
What kind of trees are those?
Those are flowering crab. Bob and I were trying to figure out how long they've been there. We thought 5-6 years at least. Anybody know?
I believe the Trees Forever Committee was the one
Well,
that actually
where I was on.
obtained them.
You know, I have no idea.
North Fifth Street, just past the bridge.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember giving money to that. I don't remember that.
So, you know, unless, we don't have access to a tree spade, either the city doesn't.
We have one, it's not in, it needs about $300 more, to get it up and running correctly. But,
The court officer said.
we talked about selling it or scrapping it because we quite literally
Don't use it.
But if you would, you're saying if you
Well,
would
he's-
actually tree spread them up, then I wouldn't even put them back there. I think that's such a bad place. Why would you do it again? I'm
Well,
just asking.
I don't know why you consider it a bad place right there.
Well, there isn't much ground that's.
Oh, yeah, that's quite a bit. That's quite a way off the street.
In the highway right away though?
I don't know if it's right away, it's off a fair distance. I guess I've never, how
I
far?
have to look.
Yeah, I guess
I can't say I go by him every day, but,
I think it was to kind of beautify that street, you know, have a nice row of trees is
Yeah.
what they.
because they really look bad now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they do.
and the only other alternative would be to take them out and replant
Well,
some.
Bob, I know, and the reason why he wanted to talk to you, he didn't want to pull them up in Kentucky, he said.
Yeah, well,
Well, I wondered about putting them in one of the other spaces if you pull them up.
if you, Oh.
If you take them out and
Yeah.
decide that that isn't such a good space for them, unless they could go further east, I don't know. But would there be another space we could put them that is?
Are they kind of on the slope a little bit, aren't they? Instead of down to where it's level.
I can't remember, you know.
I think they're on the slope of the
I was
road a
thinking
little
they
bit.
were on the slope too.
Could be.
It could be.
Right.
Which would be better if they was,
Yeah,
and I don't know if we can go any farther east with them or not.
Is that residential property?
Yeah, I don't know whose property or how that is.
We mow it. No, I'm pretty sure.
Beside the river?
Yeah. Well, without looking at it, I tell you, the fact that we mow it and we put those trees there, that'd be city property.
But that would be a
It's
possibility.
probably within the floodplain region, to be honest, but probably one of those that's undeveloped. Actually, you can probably tell that by looking at that map behind you. You can find North Fifth Street.
the river. There's South State.
Where's your house, Russ?
Yep, right there.
Okay, I'm looking at it.
Yep,
So you can see that's all in F1 floodplain.
yep.
Yeah. Which is an F1 floodplain.
So there'd be a possibility if we wanted, if we could get tree fade done.
My concern is, whether you have success, whether the expense involved renting a tree spade and having it done with it is going to pay off, whether you're better off putting just new trees in.
Well, if you consider the price of the new tree being in the neighborhood of $75,
And there's what, 5?
I don't know if they're all bad, you know, there's three I know.
There's three of them that are bad.
I don't know about the others, whether they look all right.
And didn't they take one out completely? Was it one from?
They must have done it sometime earlier,
But there's three now that are
bent over.
tipped badly. But, well, that's it. As long as we don't have a tree spade that's available.
let me balance what it would cost us
Yeah,
compared to $225 to replace three of them and see which route we want to go down. I mean, it's not going to be $500 to do a spade scenario.
Well, and I'd be with, maybe Beth, it'd be nice if it was a little bit farther off the road, just to get them on the flat instead of the slope there.
When you look, I think you'll know what I mean.
I think I know without looking what you mean. I think I agree with you two. I think it's more on the edge than you're thinking.
that could be, I stopped there, but didn't.
Yep,
I'm looking at a tree, and that's where it was planted. Well, I think then on future planning, we'll hold off until we know what we've got for finances, because there's no point in,
Tables.
yeah. And then on to new business, a member.
Well, with Maybeth's resignation from the group, which, thank you for all your years of service.
Yes,
Maybeth.
yes.
I will make sure the council recognizes the fact that your years of service on the Trees Board. But with that said, you actually have not only this position, but two others.
On our board?
You have a 7-member board.
Oh, okay, I just thought two other people were quitting.
No, you have a 7-member board.
I didn't realize.
Which means we have two other openings that have been available. I think one of the issues is always finding people to be
Well,
willing to
I
serve.
talked to Jerry Volker, he said he would be willing to.
Jerry.
That's the only one I've talked to. I've talked to anybody else.
Do any of the rest of you have any names of
Well, I
anyone?
thought Scott Buds would be really good just because he's studying trees and so forth now, but I have no idea whether he would be available just because of his time.
You're actually violating our roles by not coming with a replacement.
I am doing it right now.
Assuming Scott,
Well, I don't know because of this business.
Well, you can take Jerry if you really want to.
Jerry would do it for me.
Yeah.
How about that?
I was wondering about Jim Point, and would be a possibility that,
Has he served on a board?
he is not currently on any city board.
that knowing
Scott,
that,
I don't believe Scott is on any city boards. Jerry currently sits on the library board.
but thinking Jim, knowing that
Can you
he
think of
works
any-
with wood, so,
Can you think of any ladies? Remember, we're trying to keep some.
Well, what about Kathy?
well,
You know,
Jim or Kathy, either one, they're
Kathy
thinking
would be
that,
really good.
yeah.
that they,
Have you talked to him?
no, I was in there the other day and I thought about it, and then somebody else came and Jim went with them, and, but I'll be in there, I'll sure talk to them, and
Because with Pat and Ann, and
Right.
if Jerry came on, that would be 3 men and 2 ladies.
Yeah.
And with 2 more spots open, at least one of those needs to be
Yeah.
female, and one of those needs, well, at least one of those needs to be female, and the other one could be either.
yep.
Or both. Any other women that you can think of that might?
I'll call if I can get somebody.
I'd welcome it, Chris.
Yeah.
We tend to struggle
Yep.
on some of these boards to fill spots.
Most of the women are working.
And as you
Are
said-
the age that you want?
But as you said, the busy people are the ones that'll
Yeah, that's,
do things too.
I do. I do.
Yeah, I'll contact a handful of those and touch base with Jerry Volker.
And then I guess we probably need to set a meeting date so we can, prior to our fall ideas, we're thinking about mid-August, somewhere around there. And, you know,
Yeah, probably should, there,
we can get, if we do some
if we
planning.
do some planning, and let's say we'll have some of the grant money, you know, we'll need a whole lot.
Second Tuesday of August? What's the second Tuesday? Third Tuesday would be better for me.
16th? Oh, yeah, that'd be fine, as far as I'm concerned. Maybe that's...
I don't have,
16th of August,
Start on
16th of August, 6:30 PM.
Yeah.
may I ask how much the trees did cost? Did you get them for 75?
Yeah, I'd have to go back and look at it all together. Of all the plantings we did so far this year, we spent somewhere, and I'm talking just since January, somewhere in the neighborhood of about $2,900 was spent on all the plantings that we got this year. I mean, there's been a significant
We put a lot of trees.
Of course, we got $2,000 from Mid-American, which was more than we have gotten in years past. You
It'd
take
be really nice if there was a write-up. I think we're really lax on this committee about that.
You know, right up-
My parting voice here, but I do. I think we're really lax on that. I don't think people realize.
Well, we did have that picture in the paper that presented the check. You know, you talk about Mid-America getting credit for their grant.
Well,
but
not only them, but
How many people
actually,
realize,
how many residents we have.
Actually, May, one of the other things that I started doing last year, and I don't know if you saw it in October last year, but about once a
Tree,
year,
yeah.
I'm going to go through and do like kind of a clearinghouse so that the community can hear
I like that.
what we have been, what's going on in the city, where we're taking money and maximizing the return on that money, how the money's being used, what it's being done in the community, and for instance,
Because I would bet a lot of people have no idea how many trees we put out in the last couple of years.
No, I've heard Peter comment on those trees going up that cemetery.
Right, yep, that's something that they'll notice.
Well, you notice it because you drive through it and you see it's different than what
It's the
else.
deer taking over.
Well, the deer.
Yeah, the deer.
We're taking care of the population. Okay, I guess, is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll move that we adjourn.
Okay.
All in favor? Aye.
Right.
Adjourn. Thank you, people. Thank you.
Thank
Well,
you.
thank you. You can always come and visit us if you
Right. Not to be a bad host, but I do need to kick you out.
Yeah, I understand.